Are you buying your first house and you've been afraid to ask a few questions of your real estate agent? Well, worry no longer. I've got the 5 questions you need to ask your real estate agent when you're making that offer on your first home. Hey, I know buying your first home can be a most daunting task, and sometimes you're afraid to ask a question. Never be afraid to ask your real estate agent a question, and I've got those questions that you should be asking your real estate agent to make sure that you have the best purchase possible. So now you know the best questions to ask your real estate agent to get the best deal on your home so you can get into it the soonest and make the most of your money. Question numero uno. Would you buy this home? Ask that question of your real estate agent. Would they buy that home? Now, maybe it's not the home for them. Not every home is for a person. And you have a different taste than that real estate agent. But are they trying to push you into a home? I love these affirmations. I'm not going to lie. I do affirmations myself. But there's this real estate affirmation that I love. And I love it because I hate it. It's, I will ask every person to buy the home that I show them. I want you to think about that for a moment. I will ask every person to buy the home that I show them. What if that home's not right for them? What if the payments aren't right for them? That's not a great thing to ask someone, to buy every home that you show them. What about if having the home that you need and want? So ask that agent, are they asking you to buy that home, or if you want to buy that home because it fits your needs, or because they need a paycheck in order to put money in their pocket so they can pay their mortgage or their car note or put food on the table. Oh, no. Remember, you've got to make that payment for the next 30 years. I don't care how free money is, as far as interest rates are going, you got to make that payment. Ask them that question. Look them deep in their eyes. Now, I'm being a little facetious there. Would that person buy that home? If not, is it the home for you? Now, if you're trying to buy a $1 million house and the real estate agent would never buy $1 million house, because I would never buy $1 million house here in Las Vegas. Fine. I wouldn't buy a house in certain neighborhoods. Fine. That's fine for you. But even if I wouldn't buy $1 million house, I would know if I'm going to buy that $1 million house. You know what I mean? That's an easy question to answer. Just because I wouldn't buy it, I would know if I would buy it. Know what I mean? So ask that question. Question number 2. What's the sales history of this house? Now you got to get quite serious. Was the house just listed? Has the previous owners lived there for the last 10, 20 years? Was it a flip? Remember when I talked about flipping before? How some flippers are good and some are bad? Maybe this is the chance for you to figure that out. Has this house been expired? Expired is a house that didn't sell before. So now maybe the seller is more willing to come down on their price. Has the house been on the market in and out? AKA, had an offer that dropped out. Another offer that dropped out. Why were they dropping out? Now, were they dropping out because the buyers couldn't qualify for a loan? That's one thing. Was it dropping out because the buyers kept finding things wrong? Now, quick story. I had an offer on a house one time where the previous buyer had fallen out, and when you go in and we looked at it, there was a reason. There was a mulberry tree, which are no longer legal to be planted here in Las Vegas, and the mulberry tree had burrowed itself into the foundation. Well, that causes a lot of issues. over $100,000 in issues. See, those are things you need to look for. So, what is the history of that house? Now, you have the discovery period in which you can find these things out, but maybe you can find out ahead of time and not waste your time. Now, here's one that people do come up with. They'll ask, well, I'd like to see the HOA documents now. You may have a little bit of an issue with that. And the reason being is you normally don't order the HOA documents until you have a contract in hand because they cost money. And the seller doesn't want to order those because they cost money. So as much as you may want to see the HOA documents for various reasons, you're not going to see those until you put an offer in on the house. Some title companies may have a copy of them, and the operative word is may, but no, they're not going to be willy-nilly just giving you HOA documents. So I'll just alleviate that one right now for those of you who just love to see those HOA documents, to see what's in there before you make an offer, because I've had that question asked many times of me. No, they don't have the HOA documents. Now, they may have the HOA documents from when they bought the house. Maybe, if you're lucky. But things may have changed, especially if they own the house for 10 years or something. So, you're crapshoot. You're in Vegas. Just putting it out there. Item number 3. What do you know that's happening in the neighborhood? Now, your agent cannot give you any kind of demographic things, especially that relate to protected classes. It cannot talk about items related to what are known as protected classes, things like race and things like that. But if they know things that are going on, like new shopping centers coming, that may happen. But they may not know that stuff. That is could be a zoning issue, and sitting around pondering whether a shopping center is coming in, that requires them to go down to the zoning board. And come on, you really expect your agent to go down to the zoning board, look at the planning documents to see if someone has applied to put a shopping center in 2 years from now before you make an offer? Really? Really? Just being honest. Just being honest. I've had people ask questions like that. Is there a shopping center coming in? Are they going to be building a big, tall building? Because I see this really wonderful view, and I'd like to be able to maintain that view. Are there going to be any big buildings coming out that's going to ruin that view? I want to know ahead of time. You can't buy view. Okay, you can buy view, but it's very expensive. And unless you're spending millions of dollars, you're not buying your view, okay? So, but little things that you may not know, especially if you're moving into town, a lot of agents will know when things are coming that may affect your value, either positively or negatively. A good one was like some people had some advanced knowledge of, we used to have this thing we call the pig farm. It affected values in North Las Vegas because pigs stink. And so values were suppressed in that area because pigs stink. And now, mysteriously, values have gone up because there's no more stink. So those are the kinds of things that the agent may know. So ask. Maybe they know some things that are going on in the neighborhood that may affect your future value. So think about that one. Numero 4. What do you know about this HOA? And most importantly, what do you know about the management company that's running them? Some management companies are better than others. Some are out looking for money. And the way they do that is fines. Some of them just don't care. Okay? We have, I'm not going to mention names, we have big management companies here who manage, multiples, hundreds of HOAs. Sometimes they get reputations, kind of like when we're talking about flippers. The management companies get reputations, and many times the agents know about those reputations, and they can look and see who is running that HOA. You can find out and see if you even care about that management company, because you can be an XYZ HOA, but it's managed by ABC Management Company, and you may not want to be there because that moved into it. No! So find that out ahead of time. And finally, numero cinco. Do you know a professional handyman, an inspector, or anyone else who can help out with this? Your real estate agent, especially if they've been in business for several years, will know all the best handymen and everyone else to help you out, or maybe handy women. Because the handyman and everyone else, they want to placate your real estate agent because they get business from them. And the best business you can get is referral business, and they don't want to tick them off. Same thing goes for the home warranty companies. Home warranty companies don't want to tick the real estate agents off because they get their business from the real estate agents. If you go to, let's say you want to get a home warranty, even if you already own your home right now, have a real estate agent call for you and give you a recommendation. Here's why. If your home warranty company tries to screw you over and the real estate agent is the one who hooked you up, and you call that real estate agent and you're like, the home warranty company is trying to screw me over, and that real estate agent is the one who put you in contact with them, and they're the ones who usually use that home warranty company, and they call them up, it's going to be like, we're going to be right out there. Do you know why? They do a lot of business with that agent. That agent talks. Guess what's going to happen? They'll say, don't use ABC Home Warranty Company, and they lose a lot of money because word gets around. Same thing for handyman. It also creates another problem. When a handyman is up and coming and they get really good, let's say one or two agents are using them, and then other agents, they go, who's a good handyman? We'll use John over here. Then John starts working with this agent. Well, who's the good handyman? John. Then he starts working all these agents. Now John's the busiest guy in town. So now John, who used to be reasonable, starts raising his rates because, supply and demand. Then he keeps raising his rates. Then he keeps raising his rates. Then he keeps raising his rates. So you got to catch him on that phase, because like I had a handyman I used to work with a lot, and things were great, charged a good fee, and then he started raising his rates, and then people started complaining to me about him not showing up and his work being crap. Guess what? He no longer got referrals. One day he even called me up. It's like, hey man, I haven't had work in a while. Nobody's calling me. Oh man, I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know. It's like, you want to go, your butt should have shown up for work. But that's what happens. Oh yeah, and shouldn't have been lying about it, telling me that there's a traffic jam on the 215 while I'm waiting for you at a client's house. When I'm looking at Google Maps, it's like, did you know this thing has maps on it and it tells you what the traffic is? And I'm looking at it, it's all green. All green. And you're telling me traffic is backed up on the 215. It's backed up on the 215. Oh, okay. So those are the 5 tips, some things you should be asking your agent, especially when you're buying a new house and this is your first time out there. If you need any advice, keep looking at my channel and everything. No other folks looking for stuff for buying and selling homes, send them my channel, subscribe, hit that thumbs up, because that's the algorithm that YouTube uses to send it to other folks. Let's get them educated. Thanks a lot, guys. See y'all.